So how's it going, everybody? Let's see. Update time. I know you probably missed me. With the serious progression going on, I have not been able to, interact with everybody as much as I usually do via my Twitch channel, mainly. You probably have noticed I have been doing very little, pretty much no streaming since heroic progression started. Obviously, I have not been able to find the time to squeeze that in with raiding pretty much all day, every day, and sleeping for the rest of that time. So yeah, it's been pretty good, but it's paid off so far. We've ended the first instance Mogu'shan vaults with the US first, world third clear of that place, and I gotta tell you, it was pretty exciting. The bosses in this tier are no joke, and this is just the first 6. The hard ones aren't even out yet. Let's see, recap. Stone Guards, first boss in the Mogu'shan vaults. Fairly easy, fell in one shot. Walked in, bam, they were down. As expected for the first boss. I mean, they weren't easy, but they, for a guild, of the upper echelon, they're not going to put up much of a challenge. Next boss, Feng. It's got some hard phases, but once you get the order down and the patterns, nothing major. You'll drop that guy too. Then you get to Garajal. Now this guy, serious fucking roadblock. DPS requirements for this boss are insane. In fact, when we first got to him, the DPS requirements were so insane that it was actually impossible to kill him, given the current gear requirements and the amount of gear you had access to in the first lockout. So we spent many hours trying and kept wiping right around 4 to 5%. With perfect play, we realized this is the absolute best we're going to do is 4%, and then he's going to hit Hardened Rage and insta-wipe everybody. So we're coming back on a trash clear, and we come to the realization that the trash for this particular boss happens to be Zandalari fire dancers who like to buff themselves with a little blazing speed of the 200% casting speed buff variety. So, we're thinking, alright, let's get this done. We pull these trash mobs into the fight, and subsequently mages do 200,000 DPS or some such crazy nonsense. The fight still required perfect execution, even more so with keeping 2 very dangerous adds alive during this fight. But we managed to take it down just before the enrage with this little bonus. We then of course consulted with the GMs and whatnot, and they looked it over and realized the fight was a little tight on the DPS, and they didn't want people using this spell steal buff thing to have to be the only way they could kill it, or else have to go through 3 weeks to a month of gearing, which is what it would have taken to get the gear required to get that extra percent, depending on drops and luck and whatnot, RNG. But anyway, they removed the spell stealable buff and subsequently hotfixed his health to a percentage equal to what the best of the best could reach with flawless play. So making him killable, but you had to really fucking play hard. So still a very hard boss, just as hard as he was. The nerf was not a nerf, just a fix that should have been in place originally. So yeah, moving on, we down that world first, get to Spirit Kings, and man, are they fucking a pain in the ass. But also at the same time, one of my favorite fights so far. Great mechanics, really difficult. I feel I played excellently on that fight the first night we were there. Unfortunately, the enrage timer on the boss that first night was 8 minutes. Apparently this was an oversight or whatever. It was supposed to be 10 minutes. They hotfixed it the next night. But by then, everyone was, I don't know, tired, wasn't playing as good as the night before, so we struggled on it for a while. And as the night go on, and I'd been working off of about 6.5 hours of sleep combined total for the past 3 days, and I could feel it. Towards the end of the second night, I started, making some mistakes that I normally would not have made, and not too proud of that, but can only push oneself so hard. Anyway, we managed to down that boss, moved on to Elegon, which, in comparison to the Spirit Kings, was easier, but again, we struggled with it where we shouldn't have. Just poor execution. Then maybe we went back and forth on tactics too many times, overcomplicating it. In the end, we crushed it. Off the chain damage. Wait to see the video releases for that. Hopefully it will include my POV and the damage meters where I'm wrecking. Let's see. Elegon, fun fight. I really enjoyed it. The art and architecture in his room, really reminding of Algalon. Of course, he is a celestial like Algalon, although he's a dragon, not a humanoid. But anyway, really fun fight. Great mechanics. I had fun with that. Then we get the Spirit Kings. Whew. Now, because of the time it took us on, not Spirit Kings, Will of the Emperor, but because of the time it took us on Spirit Kings and Elegon, we were a day behind a couple of other guilds getting to this. So they had a day of progression on it ahead of us. But we had really good strategy to carry over from beta, and we implemented it, made the changes required for whatever was going on live, and in the end, we managed to kill it US first, world third. And when you see the kill video, the official vodka release, that will of course be on Vodka's YouTube. You can find it favorited on my main page there, so just look for my favorite sections and go to the Vodka Guild part. But yeah, we just tore this fight up. You watch Method's video, for instance, and they barely kill it with everyone dying. The whole fight is falling apart. It just dots tick it over. And same thing with Blood Legion's Elegon. They were dead. They were wiped. OP DK abilities. Not knocking it. Fucking. Maybe they're a little OP that you could survive that long with that much damage, but it was a cool ending anyway. But those fights, our Elegon, 16 people were still alive at the end. Our Will of the Embers, I want to say 22 people were alive at the kill. Oh man, it was impressive. You will see when you see the videos how amazingly Vodka plays. Once we get our shit together and we have our strategy locked in, we just tear shit up. So look out for that. I'm going to try to get a little streaming action in with the time I have, until Heart of Fear and whatever comes out. So look forward to that, and I will catch you guys next time. Root for vodka, bitches.